Here we go, Happy against Ted, the Russian undead player, the best undead player in Europe against probably the best undead player in the world. Undead mirror matchup, both players are ready. We're going to start in this game and we're going to talk about strategies. We're going to tell you as soon as the spawning locations are known, even though this map is very similar, so it doesn't really matter where you spawn. I think both players are fairly okay with any of the spawns. It is a two-player map, so there are only two possible spawning locations. Yeah, and we're going to talk you right through as soon as the game is really underway.
Yeah, like you said, it's Terranistan, it's a two-player map, so they're both going to know where they're going to start, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, once more, I think Ted is going to open up with Fiends, and I think Happy is going up with Ghouls. What that is going to mean, I'm going to explain soon, in detail, as soon as the game is really going on, but it definitely means that we're going to see a lot of action in the game. On that mirror, if both players open up with the same strategy, which would consist of Dead Knight and Fiends, then you're going to see a creeping game and you're going to see a fairly passive game. We can see Ted putting up the graveyard straight away, and that is exactly what I meant. He is opening up with Creep Fiends. We see Ted, once more, the Chinese undead player spawning at the right bottom position of the map, playing in red, and Happy spawning at the left top, playing blue, as the Russian undead player.
Yeah, we have both. We have Ted going with a Fiend build, and we got Happy going with, looks like to be a Ghoul build, but we could see some later Fiends coming out from him later on.
Yeah, what is possible is that he's opening up with a fast Lich, tries to delay Ted creeping a little bit, and meanwhile just put a couple of Ghouls and then switch into Fiends. But it's very unlikely to go into a fast Fiend switch when you have Lich, because you can't keep your Fiends alive. You really need that Dead Knight to definitely use the Aura, but also use Death Calls to keep your Fiends alive. Certainly against pressures from other Fiends or the Rod of Necromancy, nevertheless. We're going to see that soon, but most likely we're just going to see a lot of Ghouls and then perhaps a double crypt into Gargoyles.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Happy creeping to level 2 with his Lich, maybe above his spawn, and I think we're going to see Ted go with some Fiends, maybe creep to level 3, but Happy needs to stay on him to prevent him from getting level 3.
For the people who are less familiar with WarCraft 3, WarCraft 3 is an RTS like any other RTS. You gather resources, you build up an army. One crucial change in WarCraft compared to any other game is the hero aspect. Heroes are by far the most important thing in WarCraft 3. You can't basically play a game without a hero. That's absolutely impossible. And other than that, they are strong, but as soon as they actually fall, your army probably loses like 80% of the damage output, at least in certain matchups. In this matchup, it is a little bit different because the undead army is actually fairly strong, but it's just so hard to actually keep your army alive. Your army is a lot less mobile without the aura of a couple of your heroes. Spells of the heroes do a lot of damage on all of your units, and it's so much easier to micro heroes than actual units. So heroes are the key element of this game.
Yeah, we have Ted opening up with a DK and Happy's opening up with a Lich, so we got that going on for us.
Yeah, that's what we expected pretty much. Most likely we're going to see Happy creep up his Lich to level 2. On level 2 you can pick the second spell. You always start off at level 1. You can pick one spell, second one. He will go for Dark Ritual, so he can gather up mana from perhaps his Rod of Necromancy, and he can make his harass on Ted's perhaps Acolytes or the Dead Knight a lot more effective, because he will have a couple of more Frost Novas. Happy opens up already with a little bit of creeping, picks up the Slippers of Agility, which is kind of a useless item on his hero, certainly in this matchup, but he will be able to sell it later on and get some additional gold for it.
Yeah, we have Happy creeping to level 2 like we predicted. I'm thinking after this he needs to go over straight to Ted's base, so once his hero gets out to prevent some harass.
That's an excellent item for Happy. Even though the Lich is not really known for his damage output, having a clause of attack +6 is really nice, because most likely he's going to try to take down a couple of the Acolytes from Ted. As soon as Tag is actually tagging from tier 1 to tier 3, he is not able to reproduce any Acolytes. So losing an Acolyte during your tag will put you far behind economy-wise. So it is going to be really important if Ted is going to be able to keep those Acolytes alive. Perhaps a Nerubian Frostile would help out a lot on that, but I'm not sure if he's going to do that. Did he actually scout the Lich already? No, I think he's just scouting it right now.
It looks like Happy's going to creep to level 3 instead, and then maybe go harass his base, like Kevin was saying, to kill some Acolytes and prevent his economy, to slow him down, slow down his tech, and that way Happy can get an advantage later on.
What a great item for Happy right there. He picks up the Sentry Wards, and Invisible Wards, which will give you vision for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes on Terranistan, or basically on any map, 5 minutes is huge. But the best thing about Terranas is that you can only leave your base in 2 possible ways. Wow, Happy picks up the Staff of Teleportation as well. Staff is to the teleport, and wow, this is an excellent start already. We can see Happy at level 2.7. Meanwhile, still using his Ghouls to creep on the other side of the map, and he's going to level up to level 3 right now. That's going to make his arrest a lot more effective, and it's going to be annoying for Ted to creep. Ted is fully aware of it, so he won't creep anything. And there we go, first Nova going off straight away. You can see the Dead Knight dropping quite low. Dead Knight is a strong hero when the aura helps to move around the map. It gives you movement speed, but it also gives you regeneration speed.
Yeah, Happy's doing a very great job of preventing Happy from getting Ted from getting level 3, and he needs to stay on him because right now Happy has the level advantage, and he needs to keep that advantage for him.
We can see he already put the first sentry ward right down. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts the other one a little bit on the north side of Ted's base straight away. Wow, it's a double tower for Ted. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's definitely preventing Happy from doing any real damage to his economy, just kind of hanging back and waiting for more units to come out.
This is fairly unusual. Normally you will only see one tower in the undead base. Right now he invested quite some resources already in the 2 towers. I mean, the undead army with the Fiends and the Dead Knight is stronger in a certain moment of the game, but you definitely need to be able to creep up. And as long as you can see right now, the Nova's just going up on the Dead Knight again. Right now, Happy saw those 2 towers and he's like, okay, there's absolutely no way that I'm going to have a successful harass in Ted's base. So what he's doing instead is just using all of his mana on Ted's Dead Knight. And that's actually fairly annoying. I don't think Ted was expecting a play like this.
Yeah, I definitely think Ted was expecting more of a Fiend build from Happy, but this is quite a surprise for him to see this. And Ted's DK is definitely very weak right now, and he needs to keep running it around from the Lich to get level 3.
We can see that Happy also bought a boost of speed, so he already spent 400 gold together with 7 teleportation on items just purely to boost his links. He picks up a Tome of Intelligence, but he has to be a little bit careful though, because the Lich is a lot weaker than... Okay, there goes the first Death Core actually. The Lich is a lot weaker than the Dead Knight, and it doesn't have the same amount of health regeneration, so he has to be careful that he doesn't take too many of those Fiend shots. There we go, 3 more. He still has 200 HP, so he is fairly safe. Wow, Ted actually using 1 Fiend to totally block off the Lich. Because that Lich does have that self-teleportation, he could pretty much suicide on the Acolyte and then just TP home just in time, because Ted has nothing to prevent that Town Border right now.
We have Happy's tech already. He's already going to tier 3, which enables him to get a pretty important item. It's an Orb of Corruption. The attack would do -5 armor to every unit that it hits, and that's crucial, especially when you have 10, 15 units focusing on it. It can drop it down very, very fast. And Ted just now reached tier 2, so he's a little bit behind on his tech.
What I like from Ted's creeping so far is that he's creeping creeps from the middle of the map. This means, Happy has to be a little bit careful with his Lich right there. Of course, Ted has nothing to slow the Lich or stun the Lich in any way, but he has to be careful with the movement. Even though he has the boots of speed, you can't be too crazy. The second hero is out for Happy right now. That will most likely be a Dead Knight. We did not see that for sure yet, but there we go, Dead Knight. So he throws off the first Death Core, and this is interesting. Ted is actually playing really offensive, more offensive than I would expect him in this moment of the game. Happy could just bring in his ghouls right now, go for a Nova on one of the Crypt Fiends. Oh, he's actually switching to Fiends himself. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting that Happy is now switching to Fiends instead of going Ghoul Frenzy to counteract this. But we have Ted going a Lich and a very slow tech. I believe he's still tier 2, so that's definitely if he's going for a strong push right now, or we don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but there's not really too much Ted can do right now. Happy is feeling fairly comfortable. He knows that he's ahead, attacking-wise. The second hero for Ted is out there. And there goes Ted to tier 3 as well. But he's quite far behind. Oh, Ted actually thinking that he can still creep. Is he buying a Zeppelin? Wow, Ted is buying a Zeppelin. This is something which I've rarely seen in Undead Mirror. Very, very interesting. Wow.
Yeah, this is definitely a smart play by Ted to definitely slow down Happy in any way possible. But we do have a Shade scouting the Zeppelin, so Happy definitely knows that it's around there.
And he's actually faking right now, but I mean, the Shade is aware of that. Oh, Dust of Appearance being used. He does see the Shade, but the Shade is... Oh, nice. Nova going off on the Shade.
Kills the Shade.
So there we go. That's... I mean, it's not huge, but it helps out a lot. There we go. The Orb of Corruption is on the Fiend. As soon as he would bring in a couple of those ghouls right now. But since he's actually switching to Fiends, I'm not totally sure if he's going for Ghoul Frenzy straight away. He might need those resources to get either Destroyers or even more Fiends. I mean, he spent quite a lot of money on items already. Almost 800 now. He's trying to take down this Zeppelin, but I wouldn't be too worried about this Zeppelin if I would have... Okay, he is actually researching, and he's adding 1 Gargoyle to his army. That 1 Gargoyle would pretty much make that Zeppelin useless, just nullify the entire effect. Wow, that Lich is running quite low in HP, but the Dead Knight is there, throwing in a Death Core. But this is great actually for Ted. He's still creeping creeps in the middle of the map, which means he can later fall back to his own base. The base which is fairly safe on Terran Ascent, because the spawning locations are so far away from each other, so that he can creep fairly safe on his own side, and he will be able to get a level advantage and certainly an item advantage in the long run of this game. Picks up a greater potion of invulnerability, which is a great item because most likely we're going to see a lot of hero nuking in this matchup.
Yeah, and in Undead Mirror there's a lot of hero focus in the beginning and throughout the fight. So it's definitely an important item, probably the best item he can get from that camp in order to keep his heroes alive.
Happy losing one of his ghouls while creeping, and that's not really Happy-like. Actually, he has to be careful, he loses one more. Okay, there goes the death goal, so he does actually manage to save that one. Here we go, Ted just continues to creeping. As we can see, he's moving his Dead Knight away. That means that the Lich is taking all of the experiences, and after he's done with this camp, he's going to be really close to level 3 already. I don't know, he's not going to get it, but he's going to be like at level 2.7, 2.8. We can see Happy picking up a third hero in the middle of the map, I believe. That has to be a Dark Ranger then for Silence, most likely.
Yeah, that'll definitely be the case. We see Ted getting a Wand of Illusion, so he can use that and scout some more with that fake illusion. And we'll see if Happy's going to Nova it or see if it's fake.
He knows it's fake.
He knows it's fake. So.
Ooh, that was really close. You could see the animation of Nova almost going off, but then he noticed straight away, like, hey, my shot did a lot more damage than it was supposed to do, so he moved his Lich away. We're seeing a complete opposite right now. Happy moving away his first hero, the Lich, to get the Dead Knight experience, and Ted doing exactly the other thing around. That's a great item for Undead Mirror right there. Picking up a potion of greater mana, so he's going to have a lot of Frost Novas. Level 3 for Ted's Lich as well. So I would say that this is fairly okay for Ted. He crept a lot, he has more experience on his heroes. Wow, that Shade almost died to the Lightning Shield. Oh, bad item for Ted though. The Boots of Quatalas plus 6 of agility is pretty much useless because he doesn't have any agility hero or a huge damage dealer in any case.
Yeah, it's definitely not a very good item. We could see a fight here.
First Nova going off actually on the Happiest goal, but that goal is slowed, but it's not falling out perhaps. The other goal could fall down. There we go, nice Dark Ritual, preventing from Ted getting the experience. So good job by Happy. So nevertheless, I wouldn't feel too comfortable if I was Happy in his position right now. What he's gonna need is he's gonna need a great Frost Nova in the upcoming fight. He needs to get his ghouls into a great position and somehow prevent Ted from being able to macro his fiends and preventing the surround, but that's going to be really hard. Wow, that's interesting as well.
Yeah, we got a Happy putting up a Temple of the Damned, maybe for some Banshees and some anti-magic shield that'll prevent those Frost Novas from hurting Happy's army, so that'll be good for him.
Yeah, Ted actually sort of a panic TP. I'm not sure why he was so afraid. There was really not too much that Happy could have done in his base. I think he could have prepped at least those minor camps on the left side. So he had those additional items and experience as well, but he decided to teleport home straight away. Happy's Dead Knight levels up to level 3. I'm really interested to see what he's gonna do with the Temple of the Damned. Most likely we're gonna see Banshees. I would be surprised if we're gonna see Necromancers, but I'm not sure how effective those Banshees are gonna be.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ted hasn't picked up a third hero like the Dark Ranger as Happy has. Maybe he'll get it right now and go for a push to try and end this game. They're both around 50 food, so now is the time to fight to get rid of them.
Oh, wow, this is nice actually. Perhaps he could able to take down this statue. No, he's not.
Now
he's forcing it. Okay, he's just going for the Acolyte right now, but also town-portaling home himself. Is he gonna lose? He loses one ghoul in the process, but that's okay. I mean, he took down a couple, I think 1 or 2 Acolytes at least. Oh yeah, we can see it, but
definitely hurt the economy a little bit. Made Ted use another TP, so that's about 700 gold in TPs already, and only 350 for Happy. So he's definitely got more money for another Fiend and some more upgrades.
Happy was in upkeep for a little while, but he actually decided to cancel one of his units. We can see him upgrading his Crypt Fiend's damage in the graveyard, getting that. I think the first armor upgrade is what he's getting. Would be surprised if he's opening up with 2-0. Still, he does have 2 ghouls to lumber some, to harvest some lumber. Now, I think this is the moment. Until an extent, there are not that many creeps on the map. We can see that all the creeps are almost gone in this map. What both players are going to do right now is they're going to stay below 50 foot. They don't want to go into upkeep too early. They just want to lean back, save up some money, and then push into 70 supplies straight away and then go for the great fight. None of these players know that it's a good decision to expand in this sort of situation, because getting an expand in WarCraft 3 is fairly it costs a lot of money and it will take a while before it works out, and most of the time a good player will just attack you the moment the expansion is either just done or it has been running for 1 minute, so you basically didn't get anything out of it yet, and then it's going to be very hard to defend your expansion, and if you lose the expansion then it's just going to be a downhill battle for you.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, they both want to stay under 50, and Happy is very well known for doing this, just staying in his base, waiting under 50, letting the fight come to him, stacking gold and just waiting for that opportunity to fight. And I think Ted is more of an aggressive player. He's still going to stay below 50, but he wants to force the fight.
Definitely, this is very important what we're seeing on right there. He's sending in the Wand of Illusion, and he's actually aware of the Temple of the Damned, and most likely he knows in this situation that there is going to be Banshees for Happy, and that's going to help him a lot. Instead of perhaps investing into Crypt Fiends more, he's going to put up his own Temple of Damned. Wow. What are we going to see? Like some reverse Banshee Master taking over each other's units? With for the people who are not that aware, with the spells of the Banshee, a Master Banshee is able to steal over a unit. It will take over the unit completely. It does have a channeling time of around 2 seconds, but the moment that works, you can just completely steal the unit of your opponent. Also, the first spell, Curse, very important in Fiend Wars. It will give them a 40% miss ratio, which is huge. But the Destroyers, of course, are able to dispel those spells. And meanwhile, you also feed the enemy Destroyer with a lot of mana. And of course, Destroyers with mana doing sick amount of damage. You don't really want to give your opponent like too much to dispel. So I'm going to be interested to see how Happy is going to use his Banshees and if he's actually going to be able to take over Ted's Fiends. And wow, look at the right top side of the map.
Yeah, it's definitely, Ted's already broke 50 while putting up an expand, so that's definitely a smart play by him. Happy's still right at 50 food, and we have Ted with 3-0 Fiends while Happy's still at 2-0, but he's trying to get 3-0. It's about 3/4 done, so I think Ted's ready to fight, and he's going to come marching on his door.
And Happy is actually scouting the expansion on the right top side of the map. We can see that right now. The camera's not showing it, but his shade is there, so Happy knows exactly what's going on. And I must say, I'm a little bit surprised what Ted's doing here. We can see Ted on the screen right there. Now we can see a first person point of view. We can see both the heroes right there. But normally you either expand or you go into upkeep. You don't do both things at the same time because both will cost you money in the long run. And if he's actually not going to be able to do any a significant amount of damage to Happy's base or Happy's army in any case, then he's he's putting himself into a tough position. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Happy's at 60 food and still has another 500 gold to spend, so he can definitely get a 70 food army, like you said earlier, and very, very, very quickly and take down the Expo and take down his army.
Yo, this is going to be some really intense micro wars. Whenever Happy is actually in the phase of like, okay, I want to move out, I want to fight, we're going to see a really important final battle. It will all come down to the silence of both Dark Rangers, being able to silence perhaps the Dead Knight. Wow, anti-magic shield going off, perhaps that was the only reason, not probably the only reason, but this will keep Happy's heroes alive a lot easier. There goes probably the first Frost Nova will go off anytime soon. Oh, Destroy is being more for TAD right here, absorbing mana of one of the statues, so he's going for double Destroyer at least. This is going to be a really interesting fight.
Yeah, I think Happy's definitely ready to fight now. He's got the anti-magic shield. He's got the items he needs. He's ready to fight, and he needs to go push that Expo because that is up, and Ted is gaining more gold.
3-0 on both sides right now, so those Crypt Fiends are going to do a lot of damage. Happy did research web, so it's all going to come down. Is he going to be able to web the Destroyers? Here we go. A lot of poke fight going off, Nova going off, Silence going off on the Banshees. One Destroyer running really low from TAD already. Great death calls being used by both players. 60 supply for TAD, and around the same wall, those second Destroyer falling down already. This actually I think this is looking fairly good for Happy. Our Russian underplay right there. Just 55 supply left for Ted.
Yeah, Happy is definitely doing a lot better right now. Fiends are dying. It looks like anti-magic shield's paying off because these Fiends are missing. But I think it's going to come down at the end to the heroes that are left.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot down to the heroes and to the mana as well. Frost Nova going up on both players, but Happy definitely having a lot more Fiends right now. And Ted decides to TP home, loses one more Fiend in the process. And wow, what a great fight by Happy right there. You could see him webbing those Destroyers, focusing down with the Fiend straight away, using his spells on the right moment, using Silence on the Dead Knight, so he wasn't able to keep his Destroyers alive. And he's going to focus, he's going to take down that expansion right now. Ted will unsummon it, but he's farly behind right now. Just 39 supply. He just lost money with his expansion. And this is what, oh, he's actually going to try to defend his expansion. Wow.
Yeah. Ted running up to defend the Expo. We'll see if he's going to cancel the gold mine or not. Okay, yeah, he did. So, but he only got about 400 gold from that, so he basically got nothing from it, and Happy won that last fight. So Happy definitely has the advantage right now.
I'm not sure how much Happy. I don't think Happy is in upkeep. He's probably stuck at 50, and now Happy is just okay. He's at 47 supply. He does have one Banshee in queue, but now Happy is just going to put up his own expansion. And the main difference between his expansion and Ted's expansion, which just been taken down, is that Happy is going to be able to defend expansion easily, and it's going to be a lot closer to his base. Ted just pretty much gambled, hoping that Happy wouldn't scout that expansion, but Happy's scouting was excellent, using the shade to scout every single gold mine on the map. He won the fight, went straight away to your expansion, and now Ted is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think Happy's playing the safe card here. He's definitely just going to sit back and Expo. Happy knows he has the advantage right now. He's going to play it that way because Ted is going to have to rebuild his army. He doesn't even have Master Banshees yet, so he doesn't have the full mana capacity to do anti-magic shield like Happy does.
These two players are the best players in the group though, so even though going down 1-0 doesn't mean the end yet. But other than that, there is Majestic in this group as well. Very good human play from Ukraine, and also I believe Respot and Paladin. And Paladin used to be fairly good against Undead as well. So I mean, it's not the end of the world. May Ted lose this game, but it's definitely going to put some extra pressure on him, because you don't want to start out like this.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wins this game is pretty much going to go through to the next stage. I think it's safe to say, but we could see some upsets. It'd be interesting to see. So we got a little just camping going on, like the early game. Both just kind of sitting.
Happy we are going into Upkeep right now. He knows that Ted will most likely prevent him from expoing. So Ted is going to make the push on Happy's expansion. But I don't think he's going to be able to actually win the upcoming fight. It's going to come down. We can see anti-magic shield going off on Ted's heroes right now. It will come down once more. Who's going to have the better Frost Novas? Who's going to be able to keep his fiends alive? But Happy definitely has an experience lead on the heroes right now. Okay, that shade is going down.
Happy does have 4-4-1 heroes, and while Ted only has 3-3-2, so he definitely has the advantage for the hero levels. He has upgraded aura, so his units regen and move faster, and he has Dark Ritual, which can definitely get more mana for him.
Shade once more being taken down instantly with Frost Nova. 53 supply at Ted, and it's almost the same at Happy, so it's going to be a really interesting fight. There we go, first Silence going off, that Dark Ranger on the fire, Silence going off, first Fiend falling down for TAD. Frost Nova's going up, one more Frost Nova. Anti-Magic Shield really doing his job though. One more Fiend falling down. I think Happy is having the better micro. Wow.
Happy has now lost one Fiend yet. Happy is definitely out microing Ted right now.
Wow, unreal what Happy is showing right here. One more Frost Nova going up, one Deathcore going up for TAD right now. Is Happy going to get that Fiend alive? No, but he takes down one Fiend in the process. The other Fiend is taking quite some damage though. I'm not sure if he's going to be able. No, he was silenced. One statue falling more down, but 39 supply for Ted. And Happy definitely still being up at around 45. Frost Nova going up on the Dead Knight, but this looks like Happy's game.
Yeah, this is definitely looking very favorable for Happy. That DK is low. He's got a 10 supply advantage. Dark Ranger's low. DK coils it.
Deathcore is going up. One more Frost Nova going up, but just taking down one ghoul. And Ted is on the retreat once more while we have Happy putting up that expansion. This is looking absolutely, this is looking marvelous for Happy.
This is looking very good for Happy. I mean, the advantage is 10 food. Hero advantage is still there, and just Happy's marking very well. Hardly lost any units that battle, maybe a Fiend and a Destro, while Ted lost 3-4 Fiends and a couple statues as well.
38 supply for Ted, I believe 45 or around 50 for Happy. Oh, that's one Fiend. That was a little bit sloppy by Happy. One of the first mistakes he made the entire game. Deathcore going up though. So that Fiend is still alive. Rob's Necromancer being used once more, being dispelled instantly. Look at Happy, man. He's on fire, doing everything right in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely picking on. This Fiend will go. Oh, it gets a nice coil off, a little bit low, but he got it off.
But there we go, once more Dark Ritual being used. Actually, whoa, that's Dead Knight running really low on HP right now, using Invulnerability Potion, so it is invulnerable for 7 or 15 seconds. I believe this was the greater one. That statue is really low on HP as well. I think Happy is going to take it down. There we go. And wow, this just looks better and better for Happy. And there's almost the main gold mines run out, so Ted has absolutely no income right now. While Happy will just transfer his acolytes as far as he didn't make new ones. And he's going to be the one with income. Already has the bigger army, 51 supply, and wow, what a great game by Happy.
Yeah, Happy played pretty perfectly this game. He knows this is his game. He can just toy with Ted, run around the map, the expo's up, while Ted has no income right now, so he can't build anything. He's going to be stuck at 33 food, while Happy can just sit here and bank gold while waiting outside his base, waiting for the fight.
And of course, all of these exchanges has been in Happy's favor, so he's just been gathering experience in all three of his heroes. We can see that paying off. He still has that greater mana potion as well, so if he would actually want to transfer that to the Lich in case it wouldn't have any mana of Dark Ritual, he's gonna have so many Frost Novas, and it's gonna be so hard with that.
Yeah, I mean, Ted's DK is already half health too with no invuln pulse, so he definitely needs to watch it, because he can just get Nova and just drop like that.
And you can see those Nova just keep going off and off.
Quick coil.
That does keep his hero alive. We can see Happy moving towards the expansion of TAD. Not sure if he's going to cancel it or not. Frost Nova going off once more. Deathcore going off. And this is actually fairly hard to kill units. There we go.
Silence on the DKs,
oh, and Deathcore's good game. Wow.
What a nice game.
Yeah. See, the old Russian master still has it. Happy on the screen. Wow, this is really quite the upset. I mean, we all know what a great player Happy was. You can see Happy being fairly released as well. I'm not sure if he expected it. Once more, these are the two favorites in the group. You can see Ted on the screen right now. But wow, what a great game by Happy. Pretty much did nothing wrong. Went for the different strategy than Ted, and it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, Happy's nickname, the Micromaster, he definitely proved it here by keeping all those fiends alive and definitely winning every battle that he ran into.
Yeah, Happy in the European scene has been known for probably having the best micro for a long time already, even better than players like GroupD, even better than Holt or Todd back in the days. Happy's micro has always been phenomenal, but he used to have make a couple of strategic mistakes which costed him in the long run. Also on that being not that strong against Orc didn't help him out in the past tournaments. But wow, after his 3rd place in WCG 2008, his 4th place in WCG 2009, he's having a great impression right there after the first game. And perhaps we have to add him to the list of favorites after all.
Yeah, I mean, Happy did very, very well. Ted is still going to be in it though, so he's still good. And Happy just played phenomenal the whole game. I mean, I didn't see really any mistakes from him. Killed the shade that was scouted. I mean, he played pretty spot on.
I didn't see any game either, so I know the next game that we're going to have, you can see it on the screen right now, it's going to be Lin against Fly, and what a great game that's going to be. Orc Mirror from the Korean player Lin against the Chinese player Fly. These guys played against each other in the last year's semi-final, where Fly actually managed to take it down 2-0, and he was unreal. He was unreal the last WCG. But Lin has been on fire almost the entire year. Won 2 or 3 major tournaments. And I mean, we all know that no one Korean player ever won WCG for WarCraft 3. They had the best players for a long time, but they never managed to win WCG 3. I spoke with Remind and he said like, I think this is going to be our year. So I'm definitely interested to see what Lin is going to show us. Well, that's it. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with that great game.
Bye-bye.